Eric Holder, because now the House Judiciary Committee announcing yesterday that they are going to investigate whether or not the Attorney General of this country lied when he was under oath on May 15th. Remember, that's when he said that he really had never had anything to do with looking into journalists who might be supposedly breaking the law. Listen to this.
With regard to the potential prosecution of the press for the disclosure of material, that is not something that I've ever been involved in, heard of, or would think would be a wise policy.
Not only is that wrong and incorrect, the Justice Department says this was approved at the highest level and discussed with the Attorney General.
Sure.
So you at home play the game, what would be worse? Because we've been playing this game a lot for the last 3 weeks.
Right.
For the Attorney General to have these discussions and totally forget about it, for the have these discussions and not want to talk about it, for the Attorney General to kind of remember it, or to say, I hope they don't find out about it. I'll pretend not to know about it. What could be worse? Roll the dice, play at home.
Exactly.
You know, do we have the game Trouble? Remember where you just hit the little thing, it just clicks on? Let's just find out what's worse.
Well, Eric Holder is owning that game because he's got plenty of trouble. There are a number of people who don't think he can possibly survive this. I mean, it's very clear that it looks to many like he lied under oath before Congress. Keep in mind, this is the same Eric Holder behind Fast and Furious. This is the same Eric Holder who, when he was working in the Bill Clinton administration, the Department of Justice, essentially got Mark Rich, one of the biggest tax evaders in history, a pardon. That's the Eric Holder we're talking about, the Eric Holder who, according to the Daily Beast, it wasn't until he read in the Washington Post at his kitchen table that he realized, oh, this is big and bad, and I feel bad.
There's a lot of people in this administration who apparently find out about the news in the newspaper.
Right. Thank goodness. Why are they actually investigating newspapers to see whether they'll find anything out?
Yeah, I don't know, because now we have the president saying that he found out about the IRS report or the scandal from the news.
Do you know where I get my information? Skywriters.
Really?
Yeah, I look up and I just see what... I wait for some plane to put it out. And,
that may be apropos, because usually you see SOS.
Right.
In this case, Eric Holder may need an SOS.
You are dying to keep me on track, aren't you?
I'm just trying to keep the ball rolling. That is my job. Yes, and that's going to put me right to what I believe to be the most egregious part of this story, which is that apparently Eric Holder was judge shopping to get this whole thing to happen, where he could investigate James Rosen, who works for Fox News, and the dealings he was having at the State Department. And why? Why did he have to judge shop? Because let's take a look at the three judges. The first two said, no, we're not going to let this happen. We're not going to let you subpoena and not, here's the key, not tell James Rosen that you're looking into his personal emails and his personal phone records and listening possibly into his phone call.
Talking to his parents.
Judge Alan Key denied it. Judge John Facchiola, I hope I pronounced that right, denied it. And then it finally went to Royce Lamberth, who did approve it. So, look, guys, this was not just, hey, I'll see if, this is just sort of on a whim, I'm going to go to a judge and see what happens. This took a lot of work.
Right.
It took a lot of work and effort to get to three judges who finally, the third one, said yes.
Unfortunately, by the way, sometimes that's the way Washington works.
It's a lot of work that he said he didn't do or didn't know about.
Right.
So why not investigate it?
Yeah.
So the person to make heads or tails of this and find out really what happened is the man that was a part of it, signed off on it, talked about it, but doesn't remember it.
Sure.
Perfect.
Perfect indeed. Meanwhile, Dr. Krauthammer was on with Bill O'Reilly last night, and he was pretty emphatic. Holder's going to have to go.
I think Holder's going to have to go because he's a liability to the president. It's all about the president. It's all about, is there space under the bus where there are a lot of people? He may have to get a second bus in order to stuff everybody. Obama said he endorses him 100%, and now he learns that he clearly did not say the truth, and he can't pretend that he didn't remember because he signs a lot of stuff, because the release from the Department of Justice was he didn't only sign the search warrant against Rosen that essentially named him as a co-defendant, criminal co-defendant. He actually
Yeah, but he did say,
remember.
in the movie Jaws, they said, I think we need a bigger boat. apparently now in Washington, D.C., they're saying we need another bus, according to Krauthammer.
Well, the other thing is he actually eating controversy for the president or somebody else? Is everyone coming down on Eric Holder because he is just doing what he's told to do, even though there should be a dissemination between the White House and the Justice Department?
Well, when Axelrod was on one of the morning shows yesterday and he said he was troubled by the targeting of journalists, you got to figure that Axelrod would have discussed with the current president of the United States, hey, I'm going to say this on TV later today. So
or he might have meant it because he was a journalist. Axelrod.
Absolutely. And so he sees the peril in prosecuting journalism. That's just crazy.
Let's talk about the other scandal that's going on.